my channel. I know I've been away for a while, but I had to catch up with something at work, and now I'm back to my regular scheduled programming. So today I wanted to discuss an article I found about, it's just about the state of black generational poverty, and it went into detail about reality of the situation for black people and the main causes for this. Obviously, we know the causes, but it's good to see a professional break it down. So, the article itself was talking about how over 7.3 million black households have a net worth of less than $10,000, according to a new study. Please keep in mind that this study was done in 2021, and the study they are referring to is one done by McKinsey. McKinsey is a consulting firm that just looks into businesses and business practices and things like efficiency and such. So this is their niche, and it's a recognized institution, so this is something legitimate. Okay, so according to McKinsey, a lot of black Americans face a lot on their net worth journey, and several factors affect them. We all know that the failure of the black community is due to black males and their irresponsibility, but this irresponsibility compounds into other factors, and some of the factors that the study looked into that might influence these are occupational choices, entrepreneurship, savings, investment habits, and historical patterns. Like what went on with our grandparents, because they're the ones who raised the future generation. So without them, we would not be where we currently are. And I think it's so important to always remember that historical patterns will affect us to this day unless we make a conscious decision to avoid this. So the study began by stating that if the issues addressed in the report can be handled, it can push over 2 million black Americans into the middle class and out of the lower class. But we all know this is not going to happen, because black males love pointing fingers and competing with black women by tearing black women down so that they seem better in comparison. Okay, so first we need to understand the concept of what negative net worth is. Negative net worth is simply the state where your assets are less than your liabilities. You have more debt than you do your actual money. You're bringing in less than you're spending, so you have to take maybe a credit card, maybe you have to take out a bank loan to survive. And we all know that consumerism is a huge part of black culture, and this is one of the main reasons why black people might be in this mess. Black males create the black culture, and they are highly consumerist, and it is no surprise therefore that these types of things happen. I know there are many causes we'll discuss, but this is one of the main reasons why it happens. So the study by McKinsey is called The Economic State of Black America, What Is and What Could Be, and it was published in 2021. Simply put, it examines how black Americans, who are 13% of the US population, face much more poverty compared to other races, and it states that one of the main causes is that black people generally are in low wage occupations, and the number of black people in high wage occupations is very low. For example, black workers are only 5% of the nation's physicians and 4.5% of its software developers. That's a very low number. But despite those low figures, 35% of all nursing assistants are black, while 1/3 of security guards and school bus drivers are black, and they generally earn somewhere around $23,000. So that's exactly what one thing I was talking about. In the black community, getting something for less is really, really encouraged. Like putting in less effort. It's kind of, a lot of narcissists are like that. They want to get more for less, and this is what leads to this low productivity, because we all know that narcissism is part of black culture, not just in America, all over the world. So you find that black males do not want to put in as much effort. They want to put in minimum effort and get maximum results. It's therefore no surprise that they have no desire to go to these higher paying occupations and all that, because that would mean that now they might be required to do more, they have more responsibilities and all that. I think that's the main reason why black men do that. And despite that, besides that, they will still have access to black women. That's why they don't have to try. The study continues to state that black workers make up only 9.6% of total US wages. This is because unemployment is high, and of course and also because most black people are in lower paying jobs. You know how the culture is amongst black people. The more educated you are, the more of a sellout you are seen to be. It's therefore no surprise that these people are concentrated at the bottom. And it leads to the situation we have at the moment. It leads to this situation where black people in general are not in these managerial roles, or in this they are not the major entrepreneurs as such, because they also lack customer service skills. So it's no surprise that when Blakistanis work, or when Blakistanis try to open a business, the result is the same: failure. So here's a breakdown of the earnings. This was from the NCRC, and you can see the disparities by race. Asian people earn more than all the other races. Asian women earn $61,000 on average, while Asian men earn $78,000. For white men, it's $59,000, and for white women, it's $49,000. For Hispanic women, it's $38,000, and for Hispanic men, it's $44,000. However, here is black people are the leading from the bottom once again, and we are the only race that is balanced. For both male and female, it is $42,000 per annum for both black women and black men. So one of the experts noted that this is uncommon for to not have that gender disparity in terms of earning. But we all know the reason why this happens. It's because by and large black males will not provide. So black women have to put in more effort than women of other races to make this happen. And look at the 2019 poverty rates. As you can see, white people are the lowest in terms of poverty, with only 7% of white males in poverty, but 9% of white women in poverty. Now compare this with black people, who are at 23% of black women are in poverty, while 19% of black males are in poverty. Now there are many factors, there are many reasons why black males are a lower number than black women in terms of poverty, and one of them might be the sudden and quick deaths that they face, the way they live life recklessly. I always say that black people are nihilistic, they have no reason to live. So it's no surprise that a lot of them don't make it to a certain age. but the statistics keep getting, more influenced by nuance, because at some at some point in the research I also found that yes, it's true that black males only net worth is generally $10,000, but and that's the median, that's not the lowest, median, meaning a lot more are lower, and most of them are just within this category. Black women generally have a net worth of $1,700. I'm sure this has something to do with the single motherhood rates. I'm 100% sure of that, because you find that single white women, have more wealth than single white men. Single white women have general net worth is 81,200, while for the white men it's 70,200. So you can see that racial disparity. For the races, it's not as harsh as for black women and black men. There is just so much going on and so much going wrong, and that's why those figures are the way they are. However, it's also worth noting that this trend might change as more black women enter the workforce. You know that women generally have been increasing in the workforce thanks to changing social attitudes and all that since the mid 70s, and black women have been the leaders among women in labor force participation. This means that if black women continue on this path, but instead of focusing on survival, they focus on growth, black women can move up from having that very low net worth and very low rates of acceptance into managerial positions and major jobs. They can make that shift. But what black men need to do is change their mindset. When you are around black people, everything is a joke. So it's not surprising that you then feel like you are stuck when you are around these people. Not only will they discourage growth in the name of white supremacy, they may also sabotage you quietly or even sometimes loudly. And that's what I think is happening to so many black women. Yes, some black people may act like they are your friends or that they want you to succeed, but nothing could be further from the truth. And they either give you bad advice or they set you up. So be careful about that. When you divest, you also clear your mind and allow for yourself to make better choices. We may say that the money is the problem, the lack of inheritances and all that, but I feel like if black women are equipped to handle ups and downs of life without looking at it through that Blackistani lens, they will be able to make better decisions. We will have less single mothers, we will have less women going into abusive relationships and all that. It's so important for black women to focus on growth instead of survival, because focusing on survival is how we have ended up here, because black women did not know how to say no, black women did not know how to aim higher, get better spouses, better jobs and all that. And so the study closes off by giving some tips for the future, and this is one of the main ones that I liked, where McKinsey told us to prepare for the future of work. Majority of the jobs that black people are in might be replaced by AI. So there's a risk that these low income, low skill jobs will not exist in the near future. You see, they say that it's approximately 6.7 million black workers who are 42% of the black labor force currently hold jobs that could be subject to disruption by 2030. You see, by 2030, the jobs that majority of black people Blakistanis take is going to dwindle. So right now you need skills, you need community, you need to fight for better, because remaining at the bottom because you are more focused on survival is going to get us into trouble. You should work to improve yourself and those around you, and do not get stuck in these negative patterns. By Blackistan. It may seem stressful and lonely at first on your journey, but rest assured that if you keep going as a black woman, if you ignore the naysayers and the Blackistanis in general, you will have more success in your job, in your love life, and in your walk with God. Because everything about black culture is destructive. Everything about black culture is some type of coping mechanism meant to keep people satisfied with the pathetic state of life. So, without further ado, I'd like to close off today's video. Thanks for watching. Please stay tuned. I plan on making more videos. And let's see if next week I'll be able to make a video on Shira 7, the famous dating coach. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day. Goodbye.